Thank you, Dana. I'm Yvonne Wheaton, and before we go into the e-business server enhancement updates, I'd like to go over encryption and key technology along with some hash algorithm options. So here's kind of an overview. SDS E-Business Server is the gold standard in PGP encryption technology for securing sensitive corporate data at rest, in transit, or being accessed internally or externally by business partners. It can easily share data with business partners regardless of the partner's data security preference or computing platform. OpenPGP solutions are built on the widely trusted OpenPGP standard RFC 4880. OpenPGP encryption has undergone more than a decade of intense review by the world's best cryptographers, enabling compliance with key regulations and backed by the award-winning SDS support team. E-Business Server was initially developed for commercial use by cryptography pioneer Phil Zimmermann and features the industry's most advanced algorithms and key management to encrypt and decrypt data. SDS E-Business Server software is easy to install and use with straightforward APIs to integrate security with applications and processes. It's available on multiple platforms including z/OS, USS, Linux, Windows, AIX, HPUX, and Solaris. E-Business Server secures and protects sensitive customer and business data end-to-end, in storage, in transit, and during access. You need to make sure your data is secure end-to-end. Let's cover some of these privacy and security compliance measures that EBS ensures. HIPAA requires the establishment of national standards for electronic healthcare transactions and national identifiers for providers, health insurance plans, and employers. As a result of SOX, top management must individually certify the accuracy of financial information. The Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, or PCI DSS, is a proprietary information security standard for organizations that handle branded credit cards from major credit card schemes. Corporate security policy may require security of company information. Your trade partners as well may require that you adhere to these regulations and encrypt your data. This chart details a few areas of concern in today's business services. Services you and I use every day. Whether online, filling out our health form for our next appointment, or buying a present to be shipped to our families, financial institutions by law require data at rest and in transit is secure inside and outside of the company. HIPAA states that personal information must be kept secure by healthcare companies. Data must have compliance, data encryption and decryption. Data loss protection is key. Retail data, per the PCI, must be protected. In April of 2014, the Heartbleed virus affected OpenSSL files and was revealed to have impacted 17% of the world's secure servers. You're probably familiar with some of the latest data breaches. It seems like daily we hear about data breaches. The most recent breaches have included banks, credit card companies, fast food companies, and healthcare providers. You need to ensure that all sensitive data is encrypted, not only during transfer, but also in storage within the enterprise network, and therefore safe from misuse even if it's stolen or if a device is misplaced. Big data is a huge topic nowadays. Private data, which is data stored in-house, as well as public data. Data that can be transmitted or shared inside or outside brick-and-mortar business walls needs to be secure. The National Institute of Standards and Technology defines cybersecurity as the process of protecting information by preventing, detecting, and responding to attacks. And as we're finding out, more of these attacks are discovered years later, putting more of the emphasis nowadays on data protection. EBS preserves your IT investment, allowing strong encryption on one platform, decryption on another, with broad platform support. Windows, AIX, HPUX, Linux, Solaris, and IBM z/OS. Is a highly trusted key management system. It conserves bandwidth and increases transfer speed with built-in compression. It automates and consistently administers security processing for compliance with major regulations, encryption, compression, digital signing, data integrity, and authentication. It's commercially supported gold standard in PGP encryption technology and is backed by our customer-centric support at SDS. EBS is easy to install and use, including APIs for easy integration with application and processes. EBS is an automated, comprehensive security product to protect and encrypt a wide variety of data in transit and at rest without user interaction, including emails, file transfers, archives, and desktops. APIs and mainframe scripting that allows encryption to be integrated with applications and batch processes. It features a simple command structure or optional native application program interfaces or APIs, including C, C++, COM, Rex, and Java, to seamlessly integrate into existing applications and encryption processes and enable new ones. Automatic ASCII to EBCDIC and EBCDIC to ASCII character set conversions for easy integration of IBM, Unix, and Windows. Efficient secure communications, including large files. EBS supports large files exceeding 4 GB with a built-in compression of up to 50 to 80% based on zlib algorithms. Improving security by eliminating recurring patterns in the data before it's encrypted. E-Business Server is based on a widely accepted and highly trusted public key encryption system. You may accumulate many keys in the course of using E-Business Server. Over time, you may want to view, update, and remove the keys on the keyring. All operations on your keyring actually apply to both key rings at once, private keyring and the public keyring. Digital signatures provide authentication and data integrity. Non-repudiation means it prevents the sender from claiming that he or she did not actually send the information. EBS supports the X509 certificate, and X509 is a very common certificate format. Certification requires someone to validate that you are who you say you are. To obtain a 509 certificate, you must ask a certification authority to issue you one. And EBS provides complete cross-platform support. The multi-platform encryption encrypts data end-to-end among a wide range of environments. E-Business Server automates data production by incorporating the industry's strongest encryption algorithms. Conventional symmetric encryption is where one key is used for encryption and decryption. Asymmetric was when a pair of keys, a public and a private key, is used for encryption and decryption. The hash algorithm preference is used for signing and encrypt and sign operations. Hash functions keep track of cryptographic hash value changes. EBS features include automatic encryption of email, unified browser-based controls for managing multiple key and certification servers, and data compression, all this with a simple setup, installation, and maintenance. E-Business Server uses a cryptographically strong hash function. Hash functions generate a message digest that becomes a part of the digital signature. As long as a secure hash function is used, the slightest change to a signed document will cause the digital signature to fail. You can specify which hash algorithms E-Business Server should use. Hash algorithms include MD5, SHA-1, SHA-2, and RIPE-MD160. EBS combines some of the best features of both conventional and public key cryptography. It's a hybrid crypto system. First, it is compressed, which reduces patterns in plain text and saves space and transmit time. But more importantly, it strengthens cryptographic security. It then creates a one-time only secret random session key. The data is encrypted, then the session key is encrypted to the recipient's public key. Then the public key, encrypted session key, is transmitted along with the ciphertext to the recipient. You can configure E-Business Server to perform in a specific way. For example, you can specify what encryption and hash algorithms E-Business Server should use. Tell E-Business Server to add a specific comment to everything you encrypt. Always encrypt a copy of your data to your own key as well as your recipients. Set the level of skepticism E-Business Server should use in determining whether others' keys are valid, and so on. Well, decryption works in reverse. The recipient uses their private key to recover the session key, which EBS then uses to decrypt the conventional encrypted ciphertext. E-Business Server is based on a widely accepted and highly trusted public key encryption system in which two complementary keys, called a key pair, are used to maintain secure communications. Symmetric key encryption is an extremely simple form of encryption. Symmetric key encryption is where one key is used for encryption as well as decryption. whereas asymmetric key encryption requires both a public key and a private key. Your public key is used during the encryption of the data. When you receive the data, you use your private key to decrypt the data. The primary benefit to the public key cryptography is that it allows people with no pre-existing security to exchange messages securely. E-Business Server provides you with three key types: DHDSS, or Diffie-Hellman-Elgamal, also called DHDSA, RSA version 3, we also refer to as RSA legacy keys, and RSA version 4. DHDSS generates two prompts to define encryption and signing keys separately. RSA provides a single prompt to define a single size for two keys, encryption and signing. RSA legacy keys provide a single prompt for a single key for both encryption and signing. You can specify which encryption algorithm E-Business Server should use to encrypt the session key. 3DES or triple DES, AES 128, AES 192, AES 256, Cas5, IDEA, Twofish, and Blowfish. Also, note that the RSA legacy keys will always use IDEA. Hopefully this has been helpful in showing you some encryption information. I'm going to go into the distributed platforms and the updates that we have there. So EBS has provided support for our easy-to-use strong encryption and authentication services to your enterprise across a broad range of platforms and applications. For distributed, we support, again, it's Linux, Red Hat, Linux SUSE, Microsoft Windows, Microsoft Servers, Solaris version 9 and later, IBM AIX 5.1 and later, and HP UX 11+. We entered into a strategic partnership for E-Business Server in 2013. SDS was pleased to announce that as of October 1, 2013, the company took over support and development of McAfee's E-Business Server suite of products. As part of the partnership agreement, SDS assumed full and ongoing responsibility for all current and future customer support functions. Day 1 support on October 1st was for version 8.6. We quickly followed with our 8.7 maintenance release for outstanding issues and our 8.8 release including enhancements for zlib decompression, SHA-2 support, DSA 1024-bit signing key, default updates along with maintenance and documentation updates. In 8.8.1 EBS, the compressed algo parameter in the PGP default.config file, it can alter the preferred compression algorithm. By default, zlib will be followed by zip. Support was added for the zlib decompress and inflate options. SHA-224 DSA support. We updated the user interface admin console to allow passing of the compress algo option, and we provided maintenance updates as needed. We do have help online as well in our products, which gets updated along with our manuals. In our Business Server version 9.0, we added the zlib deflate capability. Deflate is used to compress data a section at a time and or compress to other formats. A new installer for Windows, you don't have to uninstall first. It basically performs like an upgrade. It's more convenient, efficient, and less time-consuming. We increased the number of concurrent threads to improve performance. We have 64-bit support for Windows and Linux. This 64-bit enhancement was requested by a lot of our existing eBusiness customers. This will allow customers to be able to install eBusiness Server on operating systems that exploit 64-bit technology like Windows 7 and up. We have a COM layer that supports major programming language, Visual Basic, C#, Managed C, C++, and Unmanaged C, C++, as well as our maintenance and documentation updates. Our GA version 9.0.1 has support to generate RSA version 4 with SHA-2 hashes, 64-bit implementation for the Java API, data compression by either the zlib or zip algorithm according to the preference specified in the recipient's encryption key. The EBS map program can analyze encrypted messages, signatures, and certificates to reveal their structure, size, algorithms, etc. Colin will show you this during his demo a little bit later, as well as our maintenance and documentation updates. Multi-vendor support for eBusiness Server also includes ZOS and ZOS USS 1.6 and later. Day 1 support on October 1st for ZOS was version 7.5. We quickly provided necessary support for API languages C, C++, Java, and Rex. We included performance improvements along with a link pack area installation support. Our 7.6 release provided identification of software diversified services and the product renaming. We incorporated known McAfee fixes and consider this our base release for future enhancements. 7.6.2 through 7.6.4 were major maintenance releases along with the USS MVS early EBCDIC support. We updated the PGP reader version and implemented translation switch, Translate 71, to toggle between the old B135 and the new B160 translation. In EBS 7.7, we added DSA support to allow signing keys greater than 1024 bits. We added zlib support and SHA-512 support, as well as new prompts and a new key type for DSS with selectable signature. In 7.7.1, we continued to add DSA support with 2048 and 3072-bit signing. We added zlib decompression support, and we increased the number of concurrent threads for increased performance. SHA support included SHA-224, 256, 384, and 512 hash functions. In EBS 7.8, zlib deflate was added, increasing the support of zlib functions. The deflate option is used to compress data a portion at a time and/or to compress to other formats. An ISPF user interface was added for ease of use to add keys, edit, generate, and remove keys, and more options which Colin will show you in a minute. Data support was improved, making it more robust, dependable, and improving PDS partition dataset support, as well as, again, any maintenance and documentation updates. In EBS 7.8.1, it has support to generate RSA version 4 with SHA-2 hashes. In EBS 7.8.2, we have new parameter wipe passes temp file to control the number of passes on a temp file, and we provided support for the blowfish cipher on ZOS. Our GA version 7.8.3, we added an option to fail encryption in the event that an explicit key does not exist. In the ISPF interface, we added the option to sign a file. Our EBS map program is available as an ISPF option as well as batch. Colin will be discussing the EBS map options later as well.